at 800-518-4020. 800-518-4020. That's 800-518-4020.
Hey travelers, do you want to save money on your next flight? Then pick up the phone and call. That's right, call, because the best prices are not online. They're with SmartFares. See, SmartFares has special deals with the airlines. When they have unsold seats, they use SmartFares to fill them. So you get airline tickets at ridiculously low prices. Our prices are too low to publish online. With the extra money you'll save, you can book another trip or treat yourself to dinner or shopping. So stop searching all of those travel sites to find the lowest price on your next flight. Let one of our SmartFares expert travel agents find ridiculously low prices for you. Call SmartFares today and get the best price on your next flight. Guaranteed. Also, save up to 50% off business and first-class tickets.
800-917-1386. 800-917-1386. 800-917-1386. That's 800-917-1386.
The following program does not necessarily represent the views or opinions of the staff, management, or ownership of this station.
It's time to get on the right path with Right Path Real Estate Radio with Jason Bible. Get the answer to your question that's keeping you from taking action and succeeding today. Get ready. The guide that will put your fears behind you is on the air now.
All right,
taking
fellas,
calls at 713-785-1817. Toll free 877-881-0271. Now here's your host, Jason Bible.
Welcome to the show. Jason Bible, Right Path Real Estate. Tom is in Dallas, so I am allowed to do the Tuesday show. Got a special guest here, Brandon Smith with Foundation Check. How you doing?
Doing good. Doing good. Glad to be here, Jason.
So, for the new folks, we're always getting new people on the radio. What does Foundation Check do? Y'all don't have any trucks to fix foundations.
No, absolutely not. We actually don't do the actual foundation repair.
Okay.
So, a little bit about Foundation Check. We're actually... When you hire us, we're kind of your eyes and ears for the foundation repair itself. We do the raw analysis, we do the engineering. So we come out and our goal is to hopefully save you money and also to make sure that pier placement is done correctly. So basically, what we do is we come out to your property. We'll meet with you face to face. We'll do a very small visual inspection. That's called a A-level inspection.
Is that when you walk in and you see cracks and stuff and the doors don't close and you go, yep, needs some foundation work?
Absolutely. and an A inspection is a visual inspection. That's an inspection that most repair companies use. Basically, we'll draw up the property to scale, and that's very important in our analysis. That takes about an hour and a half. We'll be taking pictures, looking for those cracks in those bricks, looking for sheetrock repair, looking for the doors that stick. Also, the other part of that, a lot of foundation companies don't really look at or entertain is what is the distress phenomenon that is going on? Why is the foundation potentially moving, or if it's not moving? It could be a variety of different things. It could be trees on your property. It could be erosion. It could be drainage off your property. Not only that, but your neighbors could very much affect your property as a whole. So after that is complete, we take our level of inspection to the next level. We go to what's called a B-level inspection. That's where we come inside. We actually measure the foundation to a tenth of a degree. And that allows us to go from there. That we'll go around with the zip level and we'll measure out. You've seen that before with you guys' foundation repair. So that gives us the data. So we have from there, we're able to take that to the office. We'll be able to generate a comprehensive report. That's kind of the first basis that we go off of. That'll include the visual inspection. That'll be the photos. That'll be a written report. We have kind of two different versions for disclosures in the state of Texas. We kind of have an owner occupied report with the landlord report. Those kind of go in together. And then if you're a house flipper, the report is basically the same. It's just that we traditionally, on the recommendations part, we go a little bit light because of disclosures. Because a traditional house flipper is going to want to know, hey, does my foundation pass or does it not pass? Okay, versus an owner occupied wants a solution long term, 3 years, 5 year, 10 year, and same thing for a landlord. From there, we're able to take our software and we actually run a mathematical calculation that tells us if that slab is performing within industry tolerance levels. Okay, and that's kind of what that separates us from a traditional, foundation repair company that's
Right.
going to come out and quote unquote give you a free foundation analysis. Nothing is ever free in life.
Oh no, I love that. Like, oh yeah, just get a free estimate. And like,
Sure.
it's not free.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure, absolutely. And from there, we're able to draw everything up to scale. We use the tolerance levels. All that is then packaged up together and goes to a licensed professional engineer. The software package, our comprehensive report, all of that was created by our engineers. And then they are able to go through it to see if it passes specs that we found out in the field. And then from there, you'll be able to get actually a stamped engineered letter that is all packaged up together and then goes back to the customer.
Yeah.
And that's that's the three components. You're looking at a comprehensive report, an AutoCAD drawing to scale with the elevation readings, and then third and final is going to be that licensed professional engineer signing off, reviewing the file, and also that's actually state legislated. A lot of people don't know that if you're going to do foundation repair, it does need to be reviewed by a licensed professional engineer. Now, with that said, the foundation repair industry, nobody governs it. you
Right.
know?
Yeah. It's one truck Chuck, and if he can jack up your foundation, now the guy's in the foundation business, right?
Absolutely. Whether he's done one slab or no slabs or 5,000 slabs, there are reputable companies that do licensed engineers as well. The cost of our report is traditionally it's $750, but with the Right Path discount, all they gotta do is mention you guys' name. It's $100 off. So for $650, you're able to get the whole kit and caboodle, all three phases of that, and really, house flippers love it because when you're going to flip a house, the number one thing that your FHA buyer, your first-time home buyer is going to want, oh my goodness, the foundation needs, repair.
What do you mean? Or you send that disclosure and they go, "What do you mean you got foundation work
Yeah.
done?" And it's like, it's not if, it's when in Houston,
correct.
guys. So, well, and there's two things I really like that you guys do. One is you'll give us a report and then say, "Hey, this is what we recommend," but you also might want to consider adding a couple of piers here.
Correct.
And for us, we go, "Yeah, let's do those too." It makes a lot of sense. And then the second thing I really like is when you sit down and say, "All right, what's the cause of this foundation movement?" And I'm sure, how many out of all the foundations you guys have looked at, how many have you looked at that are unrepairable?
Well, in my opinion, they're all repairable if you got enough money.
You got it. Okay.
That's the simple answer. Now, at the end of the day, we've had a few foundations that it's probably more cost effective to bulldoze it and start up again. But at the end of the day, the majority of them are repairable. And even though if you repair them in full, if you're doing 50, 60 piers in a house, it still at some point could potentially fail again, So
It's kind of like I'll watch those classic car shows sometimes on Velocity where they take some Hemi Cuda and it's just this mangled thing. It was like it's like it looks like an aluminum can they just crushed,
Right.
and they're like, and then of course 4 years later and who knows how much money, right? And they finally build this thing back. So yeah, I guess technically, you probably can fix them all, right?
Absolutely. That guy on Graveyard's Cartage is really good.
Oh, that
He's
guy's
incredible.
amazing, isn't it? You just watch it, and of course they show the back where he's got all the cars that are waiting. But amazing show. But all right, so for you guys, when you look at foundation issues, what's like the top 5 causes of foundation movement or foundation failure?
Sure. First and foremost, in my opinion, is water movement, change in the water,
Okay.
that affects the foundation on a daily basis. You and I were talking a little bit before the show. May, June traditionally are some of our wettest months with October in there. And unfortunately, I don't know if people don't realize this or have not looked at the data, but the first part of May when I was last on the show, from January to about middle of May, we were running really good with rainfall. Rainfall was real consistent. A lot of the foundations, the moisture content was really solid. And then as we talked about before the show, that boom, come middle of May to the end of May, we got rocked. We had very limited rain, probably for the first time this year. If your foundation was stressed before, it's
stressed now.
It's probably stressed now. Now, the good thing is in June, we had kind of an uptick, kind of back on path where we should be at.
Wait, the weather was on the right path?
Yeah,
Is that what you're telling me?
right. So, but the problem, even with that, so let's say in middle of May to the end of May, we had limited rain. Some areas out in Katy and in Woodlands, usually we have smaller rainfalls than Hobby or Clear Lake, for example. Usually our months average about 5 inches of rain. Well, we only got 2.5 inches, kind of depending where you're at. There were some pockets of 5s.
Yeah.
But Houston, as a general rule, we were shy. We were a little bit slight in May, and so what happens is come in June when we had a bunch of rainfall for the first 11 days now.
Yeah.
So what's going on with our moisture content? It's starting to move. We get in our hot months now, and summer's here, and I just want I'm here to educate people and hopefully just make sure they're paying attention, whether it's their soaker hoses, whether it's their sprinkler systems, whether it's getting with their tenants. Because for the first time this year, we've seen, that moisture content underneath that slab start to change. Number 2 is a hand over fist is going to be trees, just because they drink so much water. We're blessed with a bunch of trees here, but man, those things take a lot of water to feed. So,
Yeah. My wife and I just bought a house, and we're in the middle of rehabbing it. And when I was looking at the trees near the foundation, before you even walk, a lot of times, you bought
1 minute
a zillion houses, right? And you can go out there and look, and if you see kind of some squatty trees and then one that's right next to the house that's real big, you go, I'm willing to bet that thing's sucking some moisture out from underneath the foundation.
Yep. And depending the situation on that, we may recommend removing it or we may not. A lot of it's going to depend on the size of that tree, and it maybe even have to get an arborist out there to take a look at it. The smaller trees around the foundation is okay to remove, but you got to realize if you have a larger tree right next to your slab and you pull it out, then you're physically removing something that is taking a lot of moisture already out of your soil.
And there's a void, right? When
Absolutely.
You physically take that thing out. We get back from the break. We're going to talk more with Brandon Smith of Foundation Check. The number is 713-785-1817 if you want to call in with questions. It's Jason Bible, Right Path Real Estate.
Mike's off, guys.
Did you know that there are over $24 trillion in retirement accounts in the U.S.? Imagine if you could use someone's IRA to fund all of your deals. Well, you can. Quest IRA is based locally here in Houston, Texas. At Quest IRA, we offer retirement accounts that can be used to invest in real estate, promissory notes, private entities, and much more. Many of our clients loan money from their IRAs to fund real estate deals all over the country. We don't sell any investments or give advice. However, we do hold free networking events, weekly educational classes, and free consultations with an IRA specialist. For more information, visit our website at questira.com or call us at 1-855-FUN-IRA. To tap into the $24 trillion in retirement accounts in the U.S., call Quest IRA at 1-855-FUN-IRAs or go to our website, questira.com.
Are you expecting to close accurately, on time, and with lots of communication on your home purchase? You've come to the right place. I'm Jennifer Hernandez, Senior Loan Officer with Legacy Mutual Mortgage. Our goal is to give our borrowers and referral partners an amazing experience during the loan process. My team believes in putting people and culture before results. Our company concentrates on building those teams who operate with structure, process, and recognition for going the extra mile for you. This way, we have the energy to make this your best home purchase ever. Give us a call today to find out the simple steps to get started. I'm Jennifer Hernandez, the Hernandez team at Legacy Mutual Mortgage. Jennifer.legacymutual.com or call 713-579-3611. Again, Jennifer.legacymutual.com. We can't wait to consult with you soon. NMLS 514497.
Equal Housing Opportunity Lender. NMLS 514497.
Okay, cool. Do you have cracks in your brick, doors that stick, or sheetrock that's coming apart? Then you may have foundation movement. Due to our expansive soils in the Houston area, it's probably not a question of if you have movement, but when. Call Foundation Check for a truly independent, unbiased foundation evaluation. Foundation Check has been in business since 2009 and has completed over 1,400 evaluations. We're not in the business of repairing foundations or selling you unnecessary peer work, but we are in the business of evaluating your foundation. Our product is designed for house flippers, landlords, or even owner-occupied properties. Each of our files is reviewed by a licensed engineer. Remember to check before every repair. Call 346-702-3825. That's 346-702-3825. Or you can reach us online at foundationcheck.com. That's foundationcheck.com. Well, that's
time is money in a real estate deal.
Yeah.
If your insurance company is slow or non-responsive, you could lose a deal
that I have
like
a
that.
relationship with.
You need a quick turnaround on quotes or
everybody's
binders.
time crunch.
The agency for that is Benchmark Insurance Group
Tom
of
said, "Hey,
Texas.
Brandon, come on, I need
The
you
team
out
at
there.
Benchmark understands the
I gotta
investor
get my budget
mindset.
done.
They know what you
Yeah.
need and when you need it. We're
He
here
goes,
for you.
If you
Are
know
you a
anything
rehabber,
beforehand,
wholesaler,
just let me know.
buy and hold, or flipper?
So I
Bundling your
called
properties
up to voicemail
on a
and said,
single
"Hey, Tom,
policy
you know,
will help
there's
save
things
time
like
and money.
take some
Yeah.
people."
Benchmark has been in business for
So I
over
told him
10
the number
years,
of peers,
and
and
we
it was
insure
like
over 30,000
35,
properties.
give or take.
Contact
He was
Benchmark about our
hoping
exclusive
it
investor
wasn't
package.
fishy.
Call us and let us show you what we can do for you at 281-569-4353. That's 281-569-4353. Or online at benchmarkbroker.com. That's benchmarkbroker.com. That's 281-569-4353. Or online at benchmarkbroker.com.
All right, fellas, stand
This
by.
is Business 1110.
Tom was excited because we can budget.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
All right, gentlemen. Hot mics in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Jason Bible, Right Path Real Estate. I'm here with Brandon Smith of Foundation Check. If you want to ask foundation-related questions, the number 713-785-1817. We're also live on Facebook, which is facebook.com/rightpathrealestate. All right, so we were talking about common foundation failures. One is moisture, and then we're getting into the second one that you see as a common failure, which is trees. And so we got a lot of pretty trees down here, and a lot of people would put them right next to the house.
Yep.
And that ends up pulling moisture out from underneath the house. So you get maybe one side that's got more moisture, one that's got less, and that's when you start having those issues.
That's correct. Yep, absolutely. So, just raw knowledge of where that tree is at, the size of the tree. And I'm throwing this as a big ballpark. Bigger trees, you're looking about 100 gallons a day.
Wow.
Medium trees, about 50 gallons a day. And then forward from there. So, a 100-gallon tree, you need to be 20 feet away from the foundation, preferably. Now, in production building houses, a lot of the houses we buy for investment, that just simply wasn't there, or maybe a homeowner bought the home 30 years ago and that tree was there, and they saw somebody on guard line and said, "Hey, boom, I want to drop a tree in there." And then nowadays, unfortunately, we're left dealing with it 30 years later. So, so yeah, I would say, and then another big factor that we often see is raw drainage, predominantly pooling. Pulling around the foundation is a heavy concern. That's basically literally where the water is sitting up against the foundation. The best time to check for pooling is heavy rainfall. If you have a heavy rainfall, boom, you get an inch or two, whatever it may be. Go outside, visually inspect your property, and see if that water is physically moving away. We prefer about around 5 feet away. That water needs to be at least 5 feet away, whether it's through correct slopage with the raw soil as a whole, or whether you have a guttering system, and you're able to get that water moving 5 feet away. So
yeah, we've got the house we're doing in Sugar Land. We've got a pooling issue in the backyard. It recedes quite quickly, but it fills up. 2 inches right up against the slab. It doesn't ever go up to over the brick line coming to the house, but when you get one of those real heavy downpours, it's a good inch or two back there, and it's right up against the slab. So, all right, so we got trees. One of the ones I always find whenever I walk a house, I swear sometimes you can walk it and you can tell the foundation issue is related to sub-slab plumbing.
Sure.
You walk into a house and it's literally like a bowl in the middle. I've seen some that have got 2-3 inches between where the wall or where the baseboards are and where the foundation is now. Sure. How common do you guys see that as an issue?
Yeah, absolutely. And a lot of that has to do, in my opinion, is the type of construction that was done in the 70s and 80s. Whether you're doing cast iron or galvanized piping, under slab plumbing, PVC is the best thing that we've had in a long time. It is a little more flexible. It is a little more forgiving. But unfortunately, over time, you know, when the foundation companies will physically lift a house, you know, the majority of the time they'll try to run a hydrostatic test after the repair. We do recommend that on the majority of our reports. You know, I mean, it's just a safe. I do hydrostatic test almost all the time, whether I do 10 piers, 20 piers, or 50 piers.
But you might want to explain what a hydrostat test is for all the new folks out there.
Sure. So a hydrostatic test, basically, it's a very simple test, but it can get a lot more complicated quickly. So basically what a licensed plumber is going to come out to do is it's a gravity-fed test. They'll pull all the toilets, and they'll put basically a rubber stop in all the toilets and in the sink areas. They'll close the system off, and they'll go out to basically where your clean out's out, and they'll just pump the whole system underneath your slab full of water, and then they'll probably wait 20, 30 minutes. I'm not a licensed plumber, but I've seen it done many a times. And if the water table does not go down, then you have a passing under slab plumbing. If everything's good now. Because remember, your whole system underneath your slab is completely shut off. So if that water content drops 2 inches, 3 inches, and it's also, they measure also at the speed as well. You know, if you're filled up and you go boom, you know, it drops 5, 6 inches or gone completely, then you have some major issues. So anytime when we do heavy pier work, we do go ahead and recommend it. And I go ahead personally do it on all my rental property and flip houses almost a lot of the times. It's a really good system to have. And it's best to address those at that time, because the last thing you want to do is get in there and you completely redo. You do the repair on the foundation. You do your cosmetic repair. You go to flip the house, and then you got a crack sewer pipe. You know, and there's a couple different versions to fix that. You can go through the slab. And that's usually a little more cost effective, but that's leaving whatever the original plumbing is underneath, and that is you can do tunneling as well. That's probably the most expensive that is out there. That is physically guys with shovels, and they're like moles. They dig.
I've got to get some videos of this. If you've ever seen, especially we've got a lot of folks that listen out of state. And they're like, what do you mean tunneling? I'm like, literally like tunnel rats. They get underneath the house and they're digging under. I mean, it's wild to see. It really is.
And most people don't realize, you know, when under the slab plumbing, if you look at a home and how it's designed, you can find the main plumbing route, you know, lines pretty easy. It's not like you have lines shooting in and out. Now the problem is that if that main sewer line runs in the middle of the slab, you know, you got to get to it somehow. You either got to go through it or tunnel underneath it. Another cheaper version that is often done here in Houston is a reroute, and that can be done if your lavatories, your washer, your kitchens are done on the exterior part of the house. I've done a lot of them in investment property, and it's a very cost effective. It is a cheaper way, but also as a homeowner, if I were to buy that house with the reroute, in the event I have any plumbing issues,
they're easy to get to.
Get to. I mean, you can literally dig down and find your sewer pipe. Now, it doesn't look that good cosmetically because it kind of jets out of your house, and then people, you know, then it goes down. But I mean, most people, you don't even know. If you don't know what you're looking for, you won't see it.
You know, I see a lot of guys doing reroutes like in Westbury because of the age of the pipes down there, and it's a lot of the bathrooms and kitchen are all on exterior walls. So it's like, why go underneath the foundation? We can just run a new line. It's no big deal.
Absolutely, and it's, you know, it's cost effective. It's easy to get to, and it speeds everything up when you're able to do that. So, yep.
So foundation, we've got foundation movement from plumbing, water leaks underneath the slab. I'm sure you guys have seen it where there's been erosion underneath the foundation. They've had to go in and pump mud back in.
Sure. Yeah, and actually our engineers, mud pump has a place and time, but we actually shy away from it if at all possible. And there is a place. Because what happens is that if you have a foundation that is underperforming so bad that you lift it up, that you're creating a void. And if you're creating a void under the foundation, then that void potentially could hold moisture under. And that's not what we want. We want our soils to be compacted. We want them to have the right amount of moisture in and out. There is a time and place for mud pump. It's just if at all possible, we prefer to use standard soils if we can get to it. If we can get soils in and we can compact it correctly. But mud pump is a fast, cheaper way to do that over a longer period of time. So before we talked about it, just recently we actually had a guy that he bought an investment property, and they peered around the home, which is very common here. If you call a foundation company, a lot of the slabs, they do tend to crack on the outside because there's less structural support. And you'll see foundation companies come in and they put pilings all the way around, and hopefully they don't overjack the house where they go above where they need to go, because they're trying to protect their warranty, right? Usually when you buy a foundation, they're going to give a warranty. In this case, they did the whole perimeter of the house, and what did that middle do?
Yeah, it sunk, right?
It just sank. And they probably had a 2 to 3 inch, bowl basically in the middle of the home. And the only way to physically repair that is, we looked at the existing piers that were in that particular property, performing well. But the problem is when the work was done, they didn't think about the inside, and that's something that hopefully our analysis and the way we approach foundation repair, because we're taking all of the other avenues into account. We're not just looking at a piece of concrete and seeing if it's level at this particular time. So the only way you can correct that is, because the piers on the outside are all performing, is to physically lift the interior. And so he had to go back in, lift the interior, and kind of go that route. So
if I'm not mistaken, we actually bought a house that had a similar issue where one side was just way over jacked.
Yeah.
Right. And it's like, well, it's not like you can jack it back. You can't go over there and stand on that, bring those piers down and everybody stands on it and jumps to get the rebar and the foundation to settle back down. So you had said sometimes there's issues with your neighbor's property that are causing foundation on your property. And where do you see that? What does that look like?
Yeah, and that goes kind of back to those core principles. If you look at some of our lot lines, and depending on if you're a production builder or if you're even in a custom home builder area, we see a little bit more there, where the lot next to you could be physically higher. They built the pad to the house originally higher than yours, and of course, if you're sit on two different pads that are higher and you're the middle house, what's going to happen?
Yeah, it all drains your way.
It all drains your way. So also the amount of trees, if let's say a very large tree is yes on your neighbor's property,
2 minutes,
but it's literally really close to your slab or your foundation. It's pulling water out of your foundation, out of your. The other thing that we've seen some issues in the past is pools, where your neighbor does not know that they have a leaky pool, and that pool is leaking into your slab or your foundation, and just like we talked about sub slab plumbing, where you have a leak underneath and causes that water. In those pools, you could actually create what's called a heave. A heave is the upward movement of a slab. When our clay soil starts to absorb that moisture, that slab goes up, and you cannot correct a heave. I mean, it's like overjacking a home. You cannot physically. The only way you can do is to mirror the rest of the foundation as best as possible. So, heaves affect a home just as much as an overjack very often. So,
I can tell you my disdain for pools. We're buying a house and it's got a pool in it. I'm already not looking forward to it. Sometimes I think they cause more problems than they're worth, right? That's why you got the neighborhood pool. Yeah. So, all right. So you've got those sorts of issues. What other kind of rare things do you see in the foundation business?
Here's an odd one that you wouldn't think about: pets.
Oh. We've run into this before, where they dig up a portion of the foundation, the water gets in. Yep, we've seen that a couple of times.
Predominantly dogs. Yep. It's amazing how much. And then what happens? The dogs dig up. It rains, and then you're back to pooling.
Yeah. We get back from the break. We're going to talk more with Brandon Smith of Foundation Checks, Jason Bible, Right Path Real Estate.
Mic's off, guys.
This is one of those things. If you buy a lot of houses, you eventually run into it. Right? Dogs digging in the backyard. It starts raining. Yeah.
Virtuoso Graphics is not your ordinary sign shop. We are your one-stop shop for all your signage and graphics needs. We're located in the Galleria area and have been in business for over 13 years. From large orders to small, we can accommodate your specific needs. We pride ourselves on customer service and work one-on-one with customers to make sure they get a good quality product. Come view our showroom to browse our many samples to get you inspired. Want your business to get noticed? Give us a call at 713-623-4425 or visit our website at virtuoso-graphics.com.
Are you an active real estate investor? If so, a real estate attorney is a crucial member to add to your team. Contact Ehlert Law at 346-231-1120. Ehlert Law serves clients in real estate and business law with principal offices in Houston and their acquisitions and dispositions. We are equipped to serve you in your residential and commercial real estate law needs. Contact Ehlert Law at 346-231-1120. We draft and review docs and structured transactions and represent you in disputes and litigation. Or choose one of our transaction packages to cover your sub-2, wholesale, wraps, or private financing deals. Our business and commercial services include business contracts, entity formations, and business consultations. If you need a reliable, dedicated firm to serve on your team, contact Ehlert Law at 346-231-1120. 346-231-1120. Paid for by Gerald Ehlert, Principal Offices in Houston, not board certified by the Texas Board of Legal Specialization.
And then it looks completely different.
Oh, it looks.
Are small returns getting in the way of your retirement plans? Why settle for mediocre results? There's a better place to invest. The experts agree, single-family real estate is one of the best investments you can make. Find out how JB Fund Services offers a 9% preferred return and up to a 13% waterfall. Call us today at 281-915-0906 or visit our website, jbfundservices.com. That's 281-915-0906. This investment is offered to accredited investors.
You found or inherited a great investment property. Problem is, you don't know how much it's worth, or more importantly, what to do to maximize your investment while mitigating risk. This is exactly why we started Next Gen Appraisal. Next Gen is a group of appraisers specializing in investment real estate. We understand that investors aren't just looking for a number of what their property is worth, but a comprehensive analysis of the market. Give Next Gen a call at 713-346-9911 or check us out online at nextgenappraisals.com.
If you have cracks in your walls, ceilings, or floors, you may have a foundation leveling problem. Do you have doors that stick or just won't open right? Maybe you have gaps in the bricks of your fireplace. You need Green Tree Foundation Leveling, a fast, high-quality foundation leveling company based here in Houston. They know how hot it gets on the Gulf Coast. High summer temperatures, heavy rainfall, and clay-rich soils are leading causes of foundation cracks. If you have a cracked slab or a shifting foundation, call Green Tree Foundation Leveling at 832-329-1687. How old is your house? Many older homes in our area require foundation repair simply because of our climate and soil conditions. Green Tree Foundation Leveling provides free estimates within 24 hours. They repair concrete slab foundations and pier and beam homes too. The experts at Green Tree Foundation Leveling work fast and offer competitive rates, even a lifetime transferable warranty. Call 832-329-1687 to schedule an appointment with Green Tree Foundation Leveling.
Investor Loan Source is Houston's premier investor loan company. Our products and approval process are unique in the Houston marketplace. First of all, we loan based on the asset alone. That means no credit minimums, no income requirements, and no reserve minimums. Second, we have short-term loans for fix and flips and several long-term options for rental properties. Since we're asset-based lenders, everyone is approved. Check out Investor Loan Source at ils.cash. That's ils.cash.
This is Business 1110.
One of my hardest pulls I ever did was a vinyl pull.
All right, fellas.
In-ground vinyl. Wow. I had to find the bottom.
All right, guys, stand by. Stand by, guys. Hot mics in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back. Welcome back. This is Jason Bible, Right Path Real Estate. I'm here with Brandon Smith of Foundation Check. You guys got to listen on Facebook because Brandon is also a real estate investor, buys a lot of houses, and so we're sharing war stories here on a vinyl pool. I don't think we bought anything. I have to go back and look, see if we bought anything with a vinyl pool in it.
In-ground vinyl pool.
In-ground vinyl pool.
Channel view.
So is that like you dig a hole in the ground and then it's like a vinyl tarp?
That's correct. It is literally like your above ground Walmart special pool.
Yeah.
It's that type of mesh and vinyl bottom.
And they just bury
it. But it's completely enclosed like it has literally the perimeter of like a normal pool.
Yeah.
We did that one probably 2.5 years ago.
Wow. Because see, I'd imagine, how deep was it?
Actually, it was, I think it was, It sloped a little bit. You're not going to have the big dive section. It did not have like the big 10-foot dive.
Yeah.
But it did have a section where it was a little deeper than the normal, but it wasn't like, it was sloping. It was not a gigantic dive
it wouldn't
area.
just like come right off the edge.
Yeah, it didn't have that.
Yeah, because I was going to say you run into a trenching and shoring issue, right? If it gets beyond 3 feet, 4 feet, I mean, you could have the walls of that pool come in, in the middle of your pool party, right? Because there's no concrete there. Yeah, that's wild. So really, that just sounds like a big mosquito breeding ground to me.
Hey, the home sold quickly, so
so no complaints there, right? Somebody wanted it, right?
So.
Somebody wanted it. So okay, well, so those are the issues we see with foundation. What do you see? What do you see are the big mistakes that foundation contractors make after they go out and do a job?
Well, I think for the most part, if you look at let's talk about when you're talking to other contractors and getting bids. We do recommend getting bids. Multiple bids is always better. It's the same thing in real estate investing if you got a contractor. If you really go to the top companies or the companies that have been around a while, and what we recommend is you ask them, how long have you been in the business? How many foundations have you repaired? And, for Foundation Check's been in business since 2009. We've completed over 1,500 evaluations.
Wow.
Okay, so, and I would suspect, we're on pace. We're doing at least one evaluation a day ballpark right now. So we'll do 350, houses this year alone just on inspections. So if you take that over to
before you go, so that number, how many of those are for homeowners and how many of those are for investors? Probably a lot of investor business, huh?
It is, but you'd be surprised. For the month of May, you can really tell summer season is kicking on, so everybody knows. So everybody knows it's moving time, right?
That's right,
in Houston, Texas. School is out, boom, we got to move. So the investors that are flipping houses are moving. I've actually, for the month of May, here's what I would say. I would say a third of investors that are flip guys. I actually had a third of people that had rental property that were looking to sell.
So turn around, not to release, but turn around to essentially flip it and sell it.
Just to get out of it, whatever it may be. We see some of that, but for the month of May, I probably had 4 or 5 guys that had actually a good home and they had not, they maintained it. They had the renter in it for 4 or 5 years if you use that model and then sell it thereafter for appreciation. And probably the other third for the month of May, we were really shocked to see is we're having a bunch of owner occupieds, a bunch of realtors are starting to kind of come over because for whatever reason, and you guys may be seeing this too, lenders now are getting involved on the foundation, on predominantly FHA buyers, and even I've had a couple hard money guys reach out to me and say, hey, look, you got to go check this job out. We had one that was a pier and beam house last week. They did the work. And then we were called out after, and we said, no.
Start over, boys.
No, because and the pier and beams are a little bit easier for the contractors because, and let's rephrase that. They can be easier because the access to the home underneath is easier. Right. But you got to realize sometimes they're working with 30, 40, 50-year-old floor joists. If they did not replace those floor joists correctly, they're not carrying the weight. So in that case, we actually, the hard money lender and the client, we both kind of helped out. We protected because we called the contractor back out because our analysis came up, and it was a smaller pier and beam house, and say, hey, the work was already done. You could tell. But they just missed a couple steel shims in it. It wasn't necessarily a blocking issue. It's just that we had a couple more shims, that if they had taken the time, just 10, 15 minutes to remeasure everything when they had the jacks on the home, they wouldn't have to come back out. And so anyway, so we were able to help that out. But anyway, going back to the lender side, because this is very, very important for house flippers and homeowners as a whole, and even in landlords that are looking to sell. For whatever reason, lenders now, because what's happening is that the inspector is now saying on the inspection report, contact a third party, foundation analysis, however they want to word it, foundation repair company, foundation inspector. So we're getting a good majority of calls off of that. And what is the lender is now looking for, and I get this question a lot, does the lender want the review after the work is done or before the work is done?
Or maybe both, right?
Or maybe both. What I've come to the conclusion is that if it's got an engineer stamped letter, which is what state law requires back in 2009, because it did, 2009 legislature says, due to our expansive soils that any repair work doesn't be reviewed by a licensed engineer. Mm-hmm. Our product solves that problem. Mm-hmm. And I've had lenders take it, before the work is done. I've had lenders take it after the work is done. I know on my investment properties, we do our analysis, we do our engineering on the front side. Mm-hmm. And then when we go to list the house, we actually give them the AutoCAD drawing with the stamped letter. So they have the AutoCAD drawing on if we did pier work, where those piers are at, where those levels are at. And then we give the warranty from the foundation company. And then we do the stamped engineered letter. That's a really nice package to provide to your first-time home buyer, but also that real estate agent now can take all of that data and send it to Mr. Lender.
That's right.
FHA lender guy, no. The foundation has been reviewed by a licensed engineer. Boom, check off the list. Now, also, when that inspector comes out, then that agent then can give to that inspector because in the state of Texas, the way that inspectors work is traditionally they say in their report they're not licensed to review the foundation.
Right.
And so they call for a third party, very much like for an HVAC.
Right. I was going to say, so we've got the four majors, and you know this from your house buying business. The four majors are roof, HVAC, foundation, and sub-slab plumbing. Right. The rest of the stuff's pretty cheap to fix, relatively, right? But those four are major. Those can be deal breakers. You spend a lot of money fixing those four things.
And that's where our product is cost-effective on the front side, with the right pad discount, $650. It's the equivalent of 2 or 3 piers, but on a $30,000 rehab, it's pennies on the dollar. Right. And you'd be surprised how many foundations that have some movement but pass. Mm. So for whatever in the month of May, I don't know, it's usually broken down where we have a third of our houses need heavy pier work, a third of our houses need light pier work, 15 piers and under, and probably a third pass. Okay, for whatever reason, it was crazy in the month of May because it seemed like we had 50% that were heavy pier work, and then we had 50% that all passed.
Oh, interesting.
And that's from house to house. There's no rhyme or reason why that occurs or whatever. It just so happens that those particular houses we looked at for that month, that's what it called for.
You find certain areas of town worse than others?
That's a good question. As a whole, going back to rainfall, going back to also construction, depends on who built your house, depends on what year, all that factors in. At the end of the day, in my opinion, it's all designed how you maintain it. Even though you have a house in Memorial that's $2 million, if it's not maintained and you don't have correct drainage, you don't have correct tree, with the watering in the trees. If you go to a house in Channelview that's $75,000 and that guy has a green thumb, he's got proper slope, he's got proper drainage, he's maintained his lawn, I guarantee you that foundation out in Channelview is performing better than that $2 million home in Memorial. So, and that's just the raw physics, and that's assuming both builder grades were, both construction levels were the same.
So really, it doesn't matter one side of the town or the other. It's all kind of, as long as it's maintained,
that's correct.
Moisture levels right, then
you should be good
to go. It's good to go. And trees aren't on top of the house, right? And your neighbor's not draining into your yard,
that's
right?
Correct.
Pets. I want to go back to the pets because we didn't give that proper the proper introduction. So we've bought 2 I know of, and I can go back and look at our records where it's mostly dogs, and they find something, an animal, they smell something, and they start digging around the foundation of the house. And then what happens? It starts raining. Yep. And then what happens to the foundation once you get rainwater underneath the foundation?
Well, I mean, what happens is that you're going to have that pooling effect. I mean, that water sitting up against that foundation, traditionally it's going to lose its structural integrity, start to sag traditionally. It could expand, but normally in that pet situation, and what happens with pets, it's usually pockets. So like they'll dig on the left side of the house and they'll go in the middle and then they'll go on the right side of the house.
Yeah.
It's not like they dig a whole trench.
Yeah, if they could trench it all, that'd be great, right?
Because then it would all slope together.
Yeah.
But what happens is that pet, then you start having this waviness because that pet is literally digging on the left side. He's dug in the middle. He's dug on the right. And then you've got the good soil in between. So there's also another one that our engineer has talked to us about that I've never seen.
1 minute.
Is construction vibration. guys with jackhammers are building a road next to you. There is some evidence that potentially that much shaking, if it's continuous, if it's that close to your foundation. I have never seen it. We've just discussed it briefly, but
that makes sense, because if you've got if you've got a heterogeneous soil underneath it and it resorts as it shakes, right?
Yep.
It's kind of like putting different size rocks in a jar and then shaking the jar, right?
Correct.
Interesting. Yeah. I although we got a lot of clay here, so I bet that might be side of town dependent. I don't know. We get back from the break, we'll talk more with Brandon Smith about foundations. This is Jason Bible, Right Path Real Estate.
Mike's off.
That's interesting.
I've never seen it. It is on our little watch list.
Yeah.
You found or inherited a great investment property. Problem is, you don't know how much it's worth, or more importantly, what to do to maximize your investment while mitigating risk. This is exactly why we started Next Gen Appraisals. Next Gen is a group of appraisers specializing in investment real estate. We understand that investors aren't just looking for a number of what their property is worth, but a comprehensive analysis of the market. Give Next Gen a call at 713-346-9911 or check us out online at nextgenappraisals.com.
Virtuoso Graphics is not your ordinary sign shop. We are your one-stop shop for all your signage and graphics needs. We're located in the Galleria area and have been in business for over 13 years. From large orders to small, we can accommodate your specific needs. We pride ourselves on customer service and work one-on-one with customers to make sure they get a good quality product. Come view our showroom to browse our many samples to get you inspired. Want your business to get noticed? Give us a call at 713-623-4425 or visit our website at virtuoso-graphics.com.
Are small returns getting in the way of your retirement plans? Why settle for mediocre results? There's a better place to invest. The experts agree. Single-family real estate is one of the best investments you can make. Find out how JB Fund Services offers a 9% preferred return and up to a 13% waterfall. Call us today at 281-915-0906 or visit our website, jbfundservices.com. That's 281-915-0906. This investment is offered to accredited investors.
Investor loans offering up to 100% financing are still available. You just have to know where to look. Look no further than Noble Mortgage. Noble Mortgage is a full-service mortgage company that's been helping investors since 2003. Noble Mortgage offers up to 100% financing to investors that covers purchase, repairs, and closing costs. In addition to private money, Noble Mortgage offers conventional loans, FHA, and even no-income documentation loans for both residential and commercial properties. Call and ask about our 5-point guarantee, which includes free pre-qualifications within 2 business days. Call 713-680-8100 or visit noblemoney.com. That's noblemoney.com. Our team has over 50 years experience in the mortgage industry. Call us today, 713-680-8100 or visit us on the web, noblemoney.com, noblemoney.com.
NMLS 292143, 8203 Willow Place Drive, Houston, Texas, 77070.
Are you looking for an investor-friendly general contractor for your investment property? Then call Fast Track Remodeling at 832-742-9992 or reach us on the web at fasttrackremodeling.com.
Yeah, that's actually on
Fast Track
my Facebook
Remodeling
page if you wanna
specializes
go
in
back and
turnkey
look at it.
remodeling of single-family investment properties. Whether it's a flip rehab or a rental rehab, we manage every aspect of a rehab from start to finish with a highly efficient, standardized process.
Over the last 6 years, Fast Track has completed over 700 projects, which has helped us to create our 3 keys to success. Use a detailed scope of work so that everything gets done, train and maintain quality crews so it gets done right, and complete the work in a proper order so it gets done fast.
No more managing it yourself, no more doing the work yourself. Fast Track Remodeling really does manage it all.
So give us a call today at 832-742-9992. Again, that's 832-742-9992, or reach us on the web at fasttrackremodeling.com.
Yeah, that's correct.
Investor Loan Source is Houston's premier investor loan company. Our products and approval process are unique in the Houston marketplace. First of all, we loan based on the asset alone. That means no credit minimums, no income requirements, and no reserve minimums.
15 seconds.
Second, we have short-term loans for fix and flips and several long-term options for rental properties. Since we're asset-based lenders, everyone is approved. Check out Investor Loan Source at ils.cash. That's ILS.cash.
This is Business 1110.
All right, gentlemen. Hot mics in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back. Jason Bible, Right Path Real Estate. I'm here with Brandon Smith of Foundation Check. So, buddy of ours, Chris Johnson, said last year he was flipping a house, needed about 36 piers, called out Foundation Check, and you guys said, hey, you really only need 17 piers.
Yep.
So that was kind of worth the cost of the report.
Absolutely. I mean, in that case, that's what, roughly 50% savings.
Mm-hmm.
So, hopefully that he was able to take that money in either reinvestment into the rehab, because it's not a question of if something goes wrong in a rehab.
It's Swift.
It's when. So,
yeah.
But yeah, hopefully we were able to save him. I think that house is out in Baytown. And but yeah, that was a good little home, saving him a little bit of money, and I think he's already got that thing sold. So.
That wouldn't surprise me. So it's not only the number of piers, but it's also putting them in the right place. I mean, it's not only saving money, but it also prevents future damage, right?
That's correct. A lot of our pier work, if you look at our analysis, and let's be clear, is to get it within tolerance levels. Mm-hmm. Traditionally, in our opinion, if you go in and you do a lot of pier work, the more piers you put in, potentially, the more problems you may have.
Right.
Because you're creating voids, you're going underneath soils that have been infected for 30, 40 years. And so it's not, because when a home is constructed, it's never truly level. Even a house that is brand new construction, brand new pour, what's the first thing they tell you to do is you got to water it, you got to let it sit. Well, really what they're telling you is it's physically settling on top of because those slabs, they literally float. It's not like they're
they're floating slabs. Right.
I mean that's what they're doing. They're physically settling into that clay soil underneath. So, in our tolerance levels, once again, it is designed to be within a general building code acceptance. And we have clients that tell us, "Hey, Brendan, I want my house to be completely level." Okay, well, in order for your house to be completely level, then you're going to have probably a lot of pier work.
Yeah.
At the same time, like in Chris Johnson's discussion there, he told us, "Hey,
2 minutes.
I want my foundation to be within tolerance levels and give the best performance over a longer period of time." So a lot of our pier work that you'll see is it may not be all the way around the house, and it may just be the right side, because we're trying to get it into a general slope that is within tolerance. Okay, it's not that we're going to raise the right side, then raise the left, and then we're level. Our goal is to hopefully we can raise the right side of that house, and then in our recommendation section continue to make sure that left side performs, so you're not having to go back in there at a later date. So.
Yeah. Yeah, the whole idea is that you're not going to have perfectly level, which, I mean, I can't.
It doesn't exist.
I was like, that doesn't even. I can't. And you probably know this too. I mean, walking enough, you can kind of feel a slope from one side of house to another.
1 minute.
And even when I'm in a house, that if it's all pretty much the same slope, like you don't have any changes, you don't notice it.
That's correct.
It's those slight changes when you go, wait a second, I think this changed. An inch or two from this side of the house to the other, you can feel it a little bit.
That's correct. And we did not discuss this today, but we measure two different variances. We measure in deflection, which is the waviness or the up and down. If you go into a home that needs a lot of work, that's where you have a high point, low point that's relatively in a close distance. That's deflection. So that
30 seconds.
And the other one is tilt. That's where it's left or right of the foundation, if it's tilting left or right. So those are the two calculations we do measure when we go out.
So, Brandon, if they want to get a hold of you guys, how do they get a hold of y'all?
Best way to get a hold of us is 346-702-3825. That's 346-702-3825. Or find us online at foundationcheck.com.
Hey, I appreciate you being in the studio. It's always good to have you in. This is Jason Bible, Right Path Real Estate. Thanks for listening.
All right, guys. Have a good day.
All right. Thanks.
All right, thank you,
Yeah,
Nate.
bye.
You've been listening to Right Path Real Estate Radio. Find Jason and Tom at rightpathrealestate.com.